Welcome back to the John Mendola Show here at WILK. Well, we're going to switch things up, talk some high school ice hockey right now. Got a lot of guys, a lot of teams in here, and one of the coaches, Sam Elias, joining us this morning. And Sam, welcome into the show. And boy, you've been involved with some ice hockey here in northeastern Pennsylvania as a parent, as a coach. What's it like out there to get out there and see these guys competing? Seems like ice hockey's getting a little bigger, a little better here in northeastern Pennsylvania over the years.
Yeah, I think so, John. It's a lot of fun. As a coach, obviously, you get to mingle with a lot of kids from a lot of different areas, as evident as you look in the studio here and you see kids from all different schools. So, I like that aspect, especially as a teacher and coaching wrestling in the past. I like to interact with kids. As a dad, it's been actually great. You spend a lot of time with your kid in cars, and you have conversations. They can't jump out of a car when they're trying to avoid a conversation. So it's a lot of quality time with my son, which I'll actually miss quite a bit next year. And
of course, get to engulf with these guys and see these guys from different teams. Kind of get to know them a little bit, and the times are just odd. Sometimes you guys are at the rink, whether it's 5 a.m. or maybe 11 o'clock at night. Talk about just trying to fit everything in some of the local rinks to make sure you guys are out there playing.
Oh, yeah. Sometimes it's nuts. Personally, like the midlife crisis leagues, they start games are like at 10 o'clock. And then at the other end of the spectrum, my son Joe has done lessons with Coach Don Tweedy for quite a few years now. And, living in Tunkhannock, we're leaving our house at 4:30 a.m. to be on the ice at 6 a.m. So, yeah, you kind of have to be pretty flexible with your time.
And, of course, we got a handful of guys all in here. We're going to get to them coming up here, and we'll check back with you because we're going to have your son coming up in the next segment, Sam. But thank you so much for arranging this today.
Oh, no problem. Thank you, John.
All right, let's welcome in Geo Walton here. He is from Pittston Area. He is a senior. And, Geo, let's talk a little bit about your hockey game and your team this year. Tell us about how the Patriots were.
The season's been a little rough. I didn't win any games, but it's definitely been a good season.
Overall, you talk about some of those struggles. You find out a little bit more about yourself, of course, about some of your teammates during some of these times. And I think we've all been through some struggles in games, whether it's younger in your career or a little later in your career. But what do you love about the game of hockey, and how many years have you been playing?
It's just a great way to meet people. You meet everybody on a new team, and your teammates are always a good time. So, it's in the locker room or on the ice, you're always having a good time.
And for you, let's talk about your future. You're a senior. Do you have any thoughts on what's next for Geo Walton?
Next year, I would like to go to juniors, but maybe not go to college, maybe play hockey, but definitely go higher education.
All right, so hockey's been a big part of your life. You're hoping to continue that. As Coach Elias, I guess, mentioned, a lot of family support. Talk about trying to get you all over the place. What's it been like for you to try to get to practices or traveling with hockey? How challenging has that been?
Lately I got my license, so it's a lot easier for my mom. My mom's always been rushing back and forth when I was younger because my brother also played, so it's been pretty hard on her.
All right. Well, we wish you well in your future endeavors, all right?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right. Geo Walton from Pittston Area. He is a senior, and he'd like to continue that hockey if he could at that next level. 10:13 here at WILK. Let's continue the conversation. Trey Leo from Wyoming Seminary is with us this morning. And, Trey, welcome into the show, and tell us a little bit about what kind of fun you're having.
Thanks for having me on the show. I just enjoy playing, whether it's on the pond or on the rink. I just like to be out there.
What's the difference between pond hockey? Talk about the surface, what that's like if you're able to be out there playing outside and having a fortunate situation to play outside somewhere.
Yeah, the last few winters have been rough, but pond hockey's I always like. The ice is not better, but you're outdoors at least to get some fresh air.
And talk about your team over there at Wyoming Seminary.
It's our first year in the league. We have a lot of young guys. We have one senior, he's a goalie, and the rest are sophomores, freshmen, and we have two eighth graders.
And for you, let's talk about your talents as a hockey player, what position you play, and what do you think that you're pretty good at?
I'm currently a center, but more of an all-around guy. Don't have one skill.
Okay. And as far as being a coachable player, you probably like to think that you're coachable. Talk about what it's like being around some of these coaches and trying to learn different things when you get an opportunity to kind of elevate your game a little bit.
Well, I've been around a lot of good coaches. I've been around Coach Sam, Coach Don Tweedy, Brian Tweedy. All know the game pretty well. I think they've all passed that on to me. learn a little bit.
And as far as being a student athlete at Wyoming Seminary, I'm sure it's pretty demanding. Talk about being able to balance that, the academics and the athletic part.
Yeah, the schoolwork's pretty hard, but if I want to play hockey, I got to keep my grades up. So that's kind of a factor for me.
And is hockey something you're thinking about down the road for the future, or are you just kind of doing it because you're having fun?
I'm hoping to continue it, but got to work on some things over the summer.
All right. Well, thanks for coming in today, Trey.
Thanks for having me.
All right, let's move along to Mike Paisley. He's from Hazleton Area. He's a senior. And, Mike, welcome into the show. And talk about how you got involved with hockey.
Oh, yeah, I got involved a few years ago down in Hazleton. We have a roller hockey league, and eventually just guys wanted to come down and play some ice hockey. And now this is our first year having a varsity team, and it was pretty successful.
And talk about do you feel like there's a little bit of a buzz now in Hazleton to try to get more guys out for ice hockey?
Yeah, definitely. We started off maybe just a few lines playing, getting a team down in-house, and now we have a varsity team, a JV team, and 2 middle school teams, actually, so it's grown pretty big down there.
Good to hear. And as far as guys in the valley or up in the city there for Hazleton, are you finding more guys maybe playing down in the valley area, or is it kind of have a nice mix between guys up in the city area?
Yeah, it's just a nice mix all around, basically. It's just a nice way for all the different areas there to connect.
And Mike, any other activities you're involved with at Hazleton Area other than ice hockey?
No, really just ice hockey is all I do. Besides that, it's just other different clubs.
And how about your future endeavors? What do you have plans once graduation hits come June?
I'm going to George Washington University next fall to study international affairs and political science.
All right. Sounds like a pretty bright student there, Mike.
Okay.
Continued success and congratulations.
Thank you for having me.
All right. Yeah, Mike Paisley from Hazleton Area headed to George Washington University. So got his act together, that's for sure. And let's move along. We got one more guy, John Usavage from Wyoming Valley West, who's a senior here. And John, welcome into the show. And let's talk a little bit about your fun with playing the game of hockey.
Well, I've been playing since I was 5 years old. It's been going great so far.
And overall, tell us about some of your team members there at Wyoming Valley West and guys that have played some good hockey this year.
It's great. Some of them actually go to the same school as me. It's also different schools, so it's good to mix with other guys. And when you all play different teams, you know a lot of the guys when you play against, so it's all great fun when you play against guys. And
the playoffs, some of those semifinals were last night. The championships will be on Monday. Talk about just kind of getting out and look like a pretty nice crowd watching some ice hockey. I guess that's good to see that there's some ice hockey fans here in northeastern Pennsylvania too.
Yeah, it's great. Fans come out, students come out to see you play, and it's a great crowd when every high school game on Friday night.
Senior year for you, John, is ice hockey in your future, or are you kind of going to just pick up and play when you can?
Well, I work for the Pens right now, so I'm going to try to be equipment manager when I'm older, because I'm not right in the league right now to play hockey when I'm older, so I'm going to try to be equipment manager.
All right. Well, it sounds like a pretty good goal, and we wish you well. Thanks so much for coming in today.
All right. Thanks for having me.
All right. John Usavage, Wyoming Valley West, as we got to the players from various ice hockey teams here in northeastern Pennsylvania. We're going to continue the conversation with those guys. We still have Keystone Giants baseball. They're number 2 or 3 in the country, depending on which poll you're looking at in the preseason. The Mid-Valley Spartans boys basketball team will be live in studio as well. So lots to talk about this morning here on the John Mendola Show each and every week between 10 and 11. Follow us on Twitter at John Mendola Show. Want to thank our friends at Mendocino's Pizzeria and Restaurante located there in Daleville. We'll take a time out. We come back. More ice hockey. Let's head out to our local State Farm insurance agent, Daryl Hubbard. Break like a good neighbor. Daryl Hubbard is there. We'll be back here on WILK. Welcome back to the John Mendola Show on WILK. 10:22 in the morning. Continue the conversation as we talk ice hockey, high school ice hockey. And Sam Elias, one of the coaches of Back Mountain. He's got a lot of guys in here. And Sam, we're going to get Joe Elias in here momentarily. But talk about being a parent, yet being a coach and having that critical part of your kid's game. But every so often, I'm sure you're giving him that pat in the back, and you're awfully proud of what he's done out there on the ice.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Always proud, whether he's on the ice or off the ice. He's a really good kid. But I probably admittedly haven't patted him on the back as much as I should. You tend to counter it in the other direction because you don't want to favor your own son. So Joe hopefully not talk about that too much. But, yeah, I think maybe I was a little tougher on him than most of the other kids, unfortunately.
Well, let's welcome in Joe Elias here on the John Mendola Show. And, Joe, let's talk about your experience as an ice hockey player. Not only did you play, but with your dad, you're able to kind of figure out how to set up ice outside up there in Tunkhannock. He's really a big part of that. Talk about what you learned as a young man and growing up about the game of hockey.
Oh, yeah, it was a great experience. Growing up, I learned how to play down at the rink, and then as me and the boys from Tunkhannock got older, we kind of took over building it. And, of course, having a dad that's a math teacher would always, yap in your ear, all the dimensions and all the stuff you have to do for it. But it's really a great opportunity for kids to come down and learn how to skate.
And for you, the love of the game and traveling all over the place, talk about the fun you've had with ice hockey. Could be quite demanding.
It can be quite demanding. I know my weekends are always gone because we're always traveling, but it's truly worth it. I love ice hockey, and really skating is one of my favorite things to do.
Senior, you got to have an idea, I guess, on what's next for you. Do you have that definite plan, or are you kind of still poking around right now?
Yep, I think I will be attending Cal U University out near Pittsburgh next fall for environmental studies.
All right, any ice hockey in that future at all? Or is
Yeah, hopefully a little club hockey.
All right. Well, sounds like a good plan for you. Head west, young man, and we wish you well, Joe.
Thank you for having me.
Okay, Joe Elias, a senior there for the Back Mountain team. Shane Angle is joining us right now. Let's welcome Shane in. And Shane, let's talk about your group there at Crestwood. Been a lot of success over the years with the Crestwood ice hockey team, and how much fun are you having?
Yeah, I enjoy playing every day. I mean, we go out there, we have fun all the time. We're just a close group of friends, really, and that's all it comes down to.
And as far as other activities at school, you involved in anything else, or you pretty consumed with ice hockey?
Yeah, I play a lot of ice hockey, but I also play on the golf team.
Okay, that's a pretty good mix. How about some other hockey players there at Crestwood, some teammates of yours that have had a nice season?
Yeah, I mean, Jared McCune, Josh Edwards, TJ Kulak, and a bunch of other kids, our goalies. We work hard every game and try to do our best.
Getting together with guys like this when you're not on the ice, what's it like to just kind of hang out with them a little bit and talk a little bit about ice hockey? I guess you see a different side, I'm sure, when you guys are on the ice.
Yeah, I mean, outside we're kind of all laid back and we kind of joke around about it, but once we get out there, we just like to get it done and try our hardest.
Well, we appreciate you coming in today and wish you the very best there in your future endeavors.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Okay, you got it. Aaron Dobbs from Wyoming Area, also a member here from WA that is going to be playing, I think, in the championship on Monday. And Aaron, welcome into the show.
Thank you for having me.
Let's talk about your season this year. It's been pretty darn successful, huh?
Yeah, we've had a really good season this year. It's it's not just one person; it's the entire team. We've had through the first player to the last player. It's everybody, and that's helped generate a lot of success for us.
And let's talk about your skill set. What do you bring to this team?
I play defense. I think I bring a little bit of skill for the defense. Trying to keep them from scoring some goals. So, I think all of us bring something like that to the team. 3
seniors from Wyoming area, so there's definitely got to be some leadership out of you guys. Talk about what you do to try to be a leader on the ice hockey. I keep thinking of a court, but on the ice, so to speak.
We try to set an example for the younger kids, and make sure, no one's screwing around or doing anything, you shouldn't be doing, and we just try to set a good example for everybody, and so they could look up to us.
How about the future plans for you, Aaron?
I think I'm going to stay local, maybe play some hockey or something like that, but I think I'm going to stay local.
All right. Well, sounds good. We wish you well, okay?
Thank you for having me.
You got it. Aaron Dobbs from Wyoming Area here on the John Mendola Show. Alex Chronowski, a senior from Wyoming Area as well. And Alex, welcome into the show. And let's talk about your role there on the team.
Thank you for having me. I'm a senior forward. I like to set the example, like Aaron Dobbs said. I like to set the example for the young kids, have them not screw around as much as we did the past couple years. But this year we had a great season. Everybody did their part this year, which I thought was good. Chris Hartman, when everybody was out with mono, he stepped up pretty good, and he was there to help us out when we needed it.
And what's it going to be like playing in the championship on Monday?
I think it's going to be exciting, especially for the JV kids that came up this year. It's going to be their first time, and it's going to be really exciting again, get back there.
And as far as your future endeavors, Alex, what do you plan coming up next for you?
I plan on going to Keystone College for sport and recreational management.
All right, popular place. We got some baseball players down the hall, so you'll be able to chat with those guys in the hall, all right?
All right, thank you.
All right, Alex Chronowski from Wyoming Area. Dave Alberigi, one more guy, a senior from Wyoming Area. Dave, welcome into the show.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Well, we appreciate it. Let's talk a little bit about what your role is on the team as far as you score, you play defense. What do you do?
I'm a forward just like Alex is, and we just try to show the younger kids the role, show them not to screw around as much, just teach them what it's like to play on the varsity level.
Why you guys have so much success this year? Why are you guys able to compete for a championship on Monday? What's your beliefs that have said, okay, this is why we're that good this year?
Well, last year we made it to the championship game, and that was a shock to us. But this year we came in, we knew that we were going to be a good team. We were just kind of expecting. We just kept our foot on the throttle the whole year. We knew that we wanted to win this game and make it to the championship again.
And Dave, talk about your future as a senior. What's up next for you?
Well, I'm planning to go to college, either Penn State or Temple. I'm not really sure yet.
All right. Sounds like a couple of good choices for you. Do you have an area of a major that you're thinking about as well?
I'm thinking physical therapy.
All right. Pretty popular major and a lot of jobs in that field as well. Dave, we wish you and your Warriors the best on Monday.
All right. Thank you.
All right. A great group of young men here. Ice hockey all over the place from Hazleton, the Crestwood, the Back Mountain, Wyoming area, Pittston area, and Wyoming Valley West here. And thanks Sam Elias for organizing this great group of guys. As we head out, we're going to talk Keystone College baseball. We still got Mid-Valley basketball, Willie Chandler a little later in the show as well. 10:29 here at WILK. Let's head out now to our local State Farm insurance agent, Jen Ricky Loophole. Break like a good neighbor. Jen Ricky Loophole is there. We'll be back here at WILK.